Hi everybody, I'm Christy Goranson and welcome to Washington Grown. Today we're learning all about Washington beer. We'll travel to Waddell's Pub and Grill in Spokane, Washington to see how they're keeping customers happy with their pub-inspired food and extensive selection of local brews. We'll meet with farmer Dan Newhouse in Sunnyside, Washington to see the process of growing some of the nation's most popular hops. We'll learn about the Columbia Basin Project from Mike Schwiezo of the Washington State Water Resources Association and how the project paved the way for Washington's booming agricultural economy. Kelsey's off to Dry Fly Distillery to learn their process for creating a variety of award-winning spirits. Then we're in the kitchen with our home chef, Kristen.
Today we're bringing a restaurant favorite home and showing you how you can make beer-battered onion rings and vegetables with a chipotle dipping sauce right in your own kitchen.
All this and much more on Washington Grown.
There you go.
That's okay. For whole wheat, this is pretty awesome.
They are so delicious.
Located deep in Spokane's South Hill is a neighborhood favorite called Waddell's, a sports pub where patrons enjoy a large selection of beer on tap, along with an impressive menu of gourmet yet pub-inspired meals. Owner chef Mike Noble loves how local hops and barley make some of the best beer in the region.
Well, we have some of the best waters around here, wheat and barley, of course the hops, Citra hops, we have a Mosaic hops, Centennial hops.
Wow.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It shows for itself that Washington is growing great hops.
And good beer.
Love the beer. The beer selection is awesome.
Why do you like the local beers and the regional beers?
Well, you know, especially with Laughing Dog, like you can see we have 4 of them right here.
Yeah.
Really good beer. Fred Colby is an extraordinary brewmaster, been doing good beers. And he knows how to deal with the hops that are coming out of Washington.
After a quick pouring lesson, Mike said I was ready to try my hand at what bartenders make look so easy.
The Anubis.
Okay, so hold it at an angle.
Perfect.
Oh, that
Full.
comes out fast.
Yeah, let it tilt it up.
Whoa.
All right, you're fired.
Oh, I am
You're
so
fired.
fired. We'll come back to Waddell's later in the show and learn from Mike how to make a tasty, slow-cooked brisket sandwich. To make the perfect beer, you need the perfect hop. So we're traveling to Sunnyside, Washington to meet with hop farmer Dan Newhouse, whose family has been growing hops in the Yakima Valley since the 1940s. Now, I knew that Washington produced a lot of hops, but I was amazed to find out how big of an impact the state has on the worldwide hop industry.
The state of Washington is the leader in hop production in the country. In fact, within a 30-mile radius of where we're standing, 3/4 of the United States hops are grown.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so we're in the heart of hop country.
This is it.
This is it. Not only do we raise about 3/4 of the nation's hops, but about 3/4 of the hops produced in the United States are exported all over the world, everywhere. Any country that produces beer, more than likely, they're going to be buying some American hops.
Washington hops.
Washington hops, yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Why is Washington so good for growing hops?
Well, a couple different reasons. We've got the perfect climate. Hops love the warm temperatures that we have in eastern Washington. We've got great soil too, this volcanic ash type soil. Also with those high temperatures, we have cool temperatures at night, which is perfect for ripening the hops this time of year. And then something that's unique to the Yakima Valley, the abundance of irrigation water. Depending on our snowpack in the Cascade Mountains, we can give the hops exactly the amount of water they need.
It goes for as far as the eye can see.
It goes a long way, especially if you're on a tractor going about a mile an hour.
Yeah, never get to the end.
You know, right. You can see what all the excitement's about is this yellow stuff.
Oh, okay.
That, if you looked at that under a microscope, there would be There's thousands of little tiny sacks.
Really?
And they fill up with the oil,
Oh,
the essential
okay.
oil that is used to impart the bitter flavor to beer.
With vines growing the heights of 18 feet, I was curious to find out what the harvesting process is like.
So here we're bringing the vines in from the field into the stationary picking machine. They're loaded onto the trucks by a tractor that's got a sickle bar at the top that cuts the vines and drops them into the truck. And we bring them here, and these guys are unloading the trucks. They're hanging the vines actually upside down so that the picking machine can strip the hops off easily from the vines. Typically we start every day at 6 a.m. and we run until the kilns are full, and it usually takes 10 to 12 hours. So it's pretty long days. We go 7 days a week. It's something that we look forward to every year. The harvest season is exciting. It's kind of the culmination of the whole year's work and effort. We get to see our finished product, and we hire about 30 people for the harvest season. There's a grandmother, there's a grandson, there's sons and daughters of same families working for us. So it's kind of a family affair. We're a family farm, so that fits right in with what we're doing here. Once the hops are separated, the clean hops are then conveyed up to another building, and we dry them using hot air. So here you see the hops coming in from the picking machine. They've been separated from the leaves and the rest of the vine, and we lay them out on these kill floors, usually about 30 inches deep. And then the hops are dried for about 10 hours. We get them down to about 10% moisture. After they've been dried, we'll dump them out here onto the cooling room floor, allow them to sit for 24 to 36 hours before they're actually ready to put in a bale. So here's a 200-pound bale, the finished product that leaves the farm. We bale about 100 or so of these a day at our farm. These are delivered to the buyers. It's a lot of work and a lot of people required to get hops picked in good shape so breweries around the world can use them to make quality beer, but there's a lot of satisfaction in that too. Yeah. I really enjoy being able to plant something, nurture it, watch it grow, and get it to the point where you can harvest it, pick it, and have a finished product. Right. There's a lot of satisfaction in being able to do that.
And the finished product,
well, there's
AKA
that too.
Beer, makes a lot of people happy.
There is that too, yeah. The fruits of our labor.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
To learn more about what it's like to be a farmer in Washington, go to our website at wagrown.com.
Hey guys, it's Kelsey Cook, and there is no better place to talk about beer than at a baseball game.
So we're here at Safeco Field, and I'm going to be asking people what their favorite type of beer is. So let's go find some people. Can I ask you about your favorite type of beer for a little TV thing?
Absolutely.
So I'll start with you. What's your favorite type of beer?
Oh my God, how much time you got? My favorite type of beer is a delicious lager.
Okay.
The one with the alcohol in it.
As long as it's got alcohol, you'll drink it.
I mean, like, I don't really have a personal preference.
Really?
Yes.
I love, Blue Moon. Some of my favorite beers.
I like the fruit-based ones, like apricot and apricot.
Okay.
Mac and Jacks.
Mac and Jacks.
Anything Mac.
Okay. What are you guys drinking right now?
Coors Light, but it's because it's the cheapest.
Okay.
Pale ale is my favorite type of beer.
Okay. Very cool. Is that what you're drinking right now?
Yes, I think it is.
Okay.
And Tassi.
Okay.
I'm a big IPA fan.
So am I.
I haven't had a beer in a while.
It's a good stance to have in life.
It seems to be the fresher the better, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
Then I know then I like it a lot.
Hey, what's your favorite?
IPA, usually Ninkasi. Something that's like citrusy, hoppy.
From ales and lagers to stouts and porters, there's a seemingly endless variety. And when it comes down to it, it seems that everyone's the expert on what makes the perfect beer.
Up next, we're back at Waddell's with Chef Mike Noble, where he'll be showing us the perfect recipe to accompany your favorite beer. We're back at Spokane's South Hill Pub Waddell's. Along with all of these refreshing beverages, Waddell's chef Mike Noble is also known for infusing beer into the recipes. Today he shows us how to make slow-cooked barbecued brisket marinated in local Anubis Imperial Coffee Porter beer. But first, let's make a barbecue side favorite, coleslaw.
All right, so we have to make coleslaw to go on top of the
pulled
yummy
brisket.
Barbecue sandwich that we're making.
Pretty traditional Southern kind of style cooking. So we start with some mayo.
Okay.
Next, add in apple cider vinegar, celery salt, and sugar.
And if you don't want to put sugar in there, you can do honey as well.
Now add in black pepper and then whisk it all together.
And then in a large mixing bowl, we can add our cabbage. This is about a half a head of cabbage.
We add in some red onions, carrots, and cilantro. Add in the sauce and refrigerate.
Doesn't look like it's a lot, but a little goes a long ways
Sure.
when you're making coleslaw. The salt and everything in that will actually start breaking down the water and moisture in the cabbage.
Once the coleslaw is complete, it's on to the brisket.
So we're doing a barbecue sauce. We want a nice Imperial Porter, which goes really good with barbecue sauce.
We started by rubbing the beef brisket with 2 different seasonings.
It's all made locally here. Now we're gonna build the barbecue sauce.
Okay,
Now
very important.
Very important. So now we're gonna take our Laughing Dog beer, pour it right in there. I'll help you out there. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, there we go.
We added ketchup, brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, honey, numerous other local ingredients you'll find on our website, wagrown.com.
This is just layer after layer of good stuff.
Oh yeah. And we take this, pour it right over a brisket.
This is very easy.
Very easy.
Yeah.
I like easy.
Yeah.
And after 6 to 8 hours in the oven,
Nice.
And nice,
And so
slowly
this
cooking.
will eventually look like this.
Exactly.
next we shred the tender brisket.
That's what they mean by just fork tender.
And blend the sauce.
That looks nice.
This is what it would look
should
like.
look like.
Exactly.
Okay, and then we just take the sauce.
Just take the sauce, pour it right in there.
And all of this is gonna go on. All right, we're gonna make it restaurant style right now, right?
Yeah, this is how we do it here at
Make the
Waddell's.
sandwich.
We grilled the meat, added a little more barbecue sauce, some of Washington State's Cougar Gold cheese, and piled it all on a hoagie roll.
Take our coleslaw that we made earlier.
Yeah. Slop it right on there.
Oh yeah, very good. Just like so.
This is not a dainty meal at all.
Mike plates this meal with local Washington fries. And now it's the moment I've been waiting for.
I get to actually eat this, if you can believe it. I am such a lucky girl.
Enjoy it.
Oh, I can't wait. The meat is so tender, and the barbecue sauce is really rich, spicy, but yet we have the crispy coleslaw.
Along with this sandwich, there are many favorites here at Waddell's.
I love the burgers and the dogs.
Barbecue pork. Very delicious.
You can taste the lamb, you didn't camouflage it. It's cooked right, tender.
The locals all seem to agree that between the Washington beers and local ingredients, that Waddell's is a winner.
Ooh, thank you so much. That looks so good. Mike, thanks for having us today and sharing this great barbecue recipe and showing me how to pour a good beer. Obviously, I failed miserably, but
Hey, you're all right.
I'm gonna practice.
We'll let you come
Will you
back.
let me come back? Okay, thank you so much.
Coming up, we're talking with Mike Schwiezo of the Washington State Water Resources Association about the impact that the Columbia Basin Project has had on Washington's agricultural economy. Kelsey gets a peek at Dry Fly Distillery's operations in Spokane, Washington. Then, I'm in the kitchen with Kristen as we fry up some tasty beer-battered vegetables. I'm in Olympia, Washington, talking with Mike Schwiezo, and he represents the Washington State Water Resources Association, and we're talking about water and how that affects agriculture in the state of Washington. Tell me about the Columbia Basin Project.
Columbia Basin Project was designed as a multi-purpose project right from the get-go. So you have hydropower generation, you have flood control, And you have tremendous recreational facilities. When you put a large amount of water out on the landscape, you create lakes that didn't used to be there in the desert. Designed in the 1930s, it starts at Grand Coulee Dam, one of the largest concrete dams in the world, and one of the largest hydroelectric power generating dams in the world. It involves thousands of miles of canals that conveys the water from Banks Lake, which is just right next to the Columbia River by Grand Coulee, all the way down to the Tri-Cities. So we have over 6,000 farms on the project.
How has our landscape changed since the Columbia Basin Project has been around?
Well, this project is in an area that is really a desert, 10 inches of rainfall or less. So if you went to places in the West where you saw that type of rainfall, you'd see a desert. Well, in our case, we've been able to add the magic ingredient, which is water from the Columbia River. And this is a large river. The Columbia Basin Project uses less than 2% of the flow of the Columbia River, and it's made the landscape bloom. And so with the very fertile soils that were available, with the water, we've been able to turn the region into an oasis. We grow a lot of crops in the state of Washington that we couldn't grow for the lack of irrigation. And on the Columbia Basin Project, well over 200 crops are produced on an annual basis, some with very large acreages, some with very small acreages. But the ability to have water resources, the soil resources, and the climate resources, the very long days that we have here in the Northern Hemisphere, create a perfect environment for a tremendously diverse agricultural production.
What has been the economic impact of the Columbia Basin Project?
Value of crops produced annually on the Columbia Basin Project is $1,440,000,000. You roll that through the economy, multiply it by all the value added for food processing, all the jobs, all of the rents and the various different economic measures. It's about a $5 billion a year contribution to the state's economy.
Wow, that's amazing. I had no idea that it was that much money. Yeah, so without it, where would we be?
Well, we'd be back at dryland production, cattle ranches, and sagebrush. That contribution to the state's economy would not be there. So water is the base and the infrastructure that was built there to deliver it to the farms.
How are farmers able to conserve water themselves?
Today, over 90% of the farmland in the Columbia Basin Project is irrigated through some sort of advanced irrigation technology. What you see a lot are the center pivots that deliver water. Farmers can be very precise with their water deliveries with that kind of technology.
What's the future? Do you think it's going to change?
One thing about Washington farmers is they're early adopters of technology. All the studies show that our farmers stay on top of things, and as new technologies develop, they are quick to utilize that.
So there's still work to be done.
There's still work to be done, and the folks in the area recognize that water supplies from the Columbia Basin Project are something they can bank on. There's good certainty surrounding them from now on into the future.
To learn more about agriculture in Washington, visit our website at wagrown.com.
We've talked a lot about beer, but what about the hard stuff? Washington is becoming a force to be reckoned with in distilling spirits. So let's visit one of the entrepreneurs at the forefront, the award-winning Dry Fly Distillery in Spokane. Their Washington wheat whiskey is quickly earning accolades, along with their vodka and gin. We talked with co-owner Kent Fleischman to learn a little about the art of making wheat whiskey and why local ingredients are key.
We are here today with Mr. Kent Fleischman, who is the co-owner of Dry Fly Distillery. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, this place is amazing, and you have so many barrels. Everything's being aged in here right now.
That's correct. These barrels are holding whiskeys that have been around for 3 to 5 years.
Wow. After talking some more with Kent, he filled me in on the importance of using local ingredients to create their signature style.
And can you taste a difference in your product with using Washington ingredients?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that was extremely important to us is to really understand the natural resources that our state offers and keep it as local as possible. Okay. The wheat we use contributes greatly to the base alcohol for our vodka, gin, and our wheat whiskey.
Right.
And that's growing right down here in Rosalia, about 30 miles from us, and
Wow.
It's just a spectacular product.
We got a quick tour around the facility, and he showed me where it all starts.
These are totes of wheat
Okay.
that come up from our farmer. These are pre-weighed at 1,550 pounds.
Oh my God.
And these will actually, one of these will actually equal about 50 cases of liquor when it's done.
Oh my
We have over 3 pounds of wheat per bottle. So what we have here is we have two 450-liter copper pot stills.
Okay.
We call one Carl Senior and one Carl Junior. And this is truly the secret to what we have. This one is an independent 450-liter still that strips the alcohol out. Basically, then we're processing vapor, and vapor will travel up through a series of copper plates and head over to the condenser where it changes back to liquids. Okay. So basically, we will actually stand here and we'll taste the product as it comes out.
Really?
Until we say, yeah, this is our vodka.
After learning how Dry Fly makes their vodka and gin, I wanted to know more about how they make their award-winning Washington wheat whiskey.
So whiskey is the same process. We don't use the big column because that purifies it too much. Whiskey is a product that needs time in the barrel, so those negative alcohols actually over the years turn to a positive, and that's what lends whiskey its character. And so it's 10 days from grain to bottle for vodka gin, and 10 days from grain to barrel for whiskey.
And now the final step. First, the bottles are cleaned, and then filled with Dry Fly vodka. The bottles are then corked, sealed, and shipped.
Well, thank you for talking with us today.
It's been great learning how the art of distilling liquor has been enhanced by Washington's locally grown ingredients.
To learn more about why Washington tastes better, visit our website at wagrown.com.
Well, Kristen, we've got a bunch of different things going on here. What are we making? I see beer and onions and some vegetables.
We're making beer battered onion rings.
Very nice.
And we're also gonna start by making a really nice chipotle dipping sauce.
Oh, that sounds so
we can
good.
eat
So
them
we've
up
got
with.
some Washington beer, no lie over here, and what kind of onions are these?
These are Walla Wallas. So we've got some Walla Walla sweet onions, which are gonna fry up really nice, sweet flavor to them. We're gonna do some mushrooms and some little tiny baby zucchinis.
These are so cute. Little baby zucchinis. Okay, so we're gonna start with the dip.
We're gonna start with our dipping sauce. So we have 2 chipotle chilies in adobo. 2 of them.
Just 2 single chilies.
Not 2
You
cans.
and I both have similar stories of misreading or being misled using cans of chipotles instead of just
the individual chili. And they're quite spicy.
They are, they're so spicy.
They're delicious. They've got the nice smoky flavor.
Yeah, so you're just gonna smash it.
We're just gonna smash them up.
Does this come next? Oh my gosh, you can really
already smell it.
pungent, yeah.
You can smell the chipotles and you can hear our oil getting hot.
Yes, you can. We've got our pan back
We're
there.
good. Okay, so we just kind of smash them up a little and then we're gonna add all of our, a cup of mayo.
Cup of mayo. And this will just taste so good with that fried crispiness.
And then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Which just kind of adds a little bit of sweetness to it. I like the way it brightens it up a little more.
Everyone has ketchup in their fridge, right?
Yes.
They should anyways.
And then we're gonna also add the juice of a lime, which just brightens everything and it. Do you wanna mix it and I'll get this ready?
Continue mixing.
So we're just gonna squeeze it in. We want about a tablespoon. This one's pretty juicy, so I'm only gonna use about half.
Okay. I'm gonna taste it here. Oh, I love it.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's very tangy.
We pour into a serving bowl before starting our batter.
I'm gonna have you pour the beer.
Okay.
We need 12 ounces. And that's a local beer.
12. Okay. Yes, this is Washington, no lie. This one's an IPA called Born and Raised. So,
and
born and raised in Washington.
I'm mixing up our dry ingredients. We've got flour and cornstarch, baking soda, salt, paprika, put it all in there, and cayenne.
And people should know too that the alcohol from the beer is just gonna add flavor. It's not gonna...
Yep, all the alcohol cooks out when we fry it and just give it a flavor.
We add in 1 egg, 12 ounces of beer, then stir to combine.
Oh,
that's done.
Good, okay.
And then all we need to do to get our onions ready is just take out the outer layer of our onions. So we're going to chop off both ends.
She's giving me an onion tutorial, because I'm not good at cutting onions.
Well, and then you just lightly score the first one. You don't want to cut through all of them because then you don't have rings.
I do that. And then after this point, it's a free-for-all. I know.
So we're just peeling off that first side.
First layer, okay.
We cut into 1/3 inch rounds, then separate the rings.
We're gonna put them in a bag that we have with some flour here.
So just flour. Now this is the part your
And
kids
shake
could help,
them.
right?
Yes, this is where they can help.
They have fun shaking.
Before you go to the fryer.
We coat the onions in flour, then head to the stove to begin frying.
Taking our nice floured onion rings and dropping them in our beer batter. You just want to make sure you get all your sides. And then we're just going to
Into
put
the
them
hot
right into the
oil.
hot
375 canola oil.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is from Washington.
Yay! And you don't want to crowd your pan, so just do as many as you can fit in your pan at a time. It goes so fast. These are going to be done in about 3 minutes.
Oh, so very fast.
Once the sides brown, we flip the rings over.
Oh, look at that color.
Yeah, we can just start turning them over.
We continue to fry the rings until golden brown and then transfer to a paper towel to cool. After frying up all of our vegetables, we're ready to taste.
All right, Kristen, moment of truth.
Here we go.
This looks good. So we have our Walla Walla sweet onions, and these are our mushrooms.
Those are our mushrooms, and here's our little baby
Little
zucchini.
and our wonderful chipotle dipping sauce, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
I like the big ones because they're nice and thin.
I should have let you dip first. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Here, I'll wait
We're
for
friends. We can double dip, right? Okay. Oh. Oh, that's so good. Spicy and
crunchy. And
You
fried.
can, you can double dip. It's okay.
Can I double dip?
Oh, yeah.
To find Kristen's recipe for her beer battered vegetables, log on to wagrown.com. No matter what your favorite beer or spirit is, I think we can all agree that Washington State is putting out some pretty amazing varieties. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for joining us.